Hello, and welcome to the latest episode of Through the Pages. This will be the third to last review for 2021. I know this video will be going up 2022, but been excited to talk about this one for a while. The Three-Body Problem by Cixin. And I know some cultures will have that backwards, forwards, but I'm just reading as it's pronounced here. Other websites have it Liu first, but this was probably, I would say, my first foray into, like, hard sci-fi. And maybe there's hard sci-fi readers out there who are like, oh, that's not shit, that's not. But, like, to me, this is pretty deep in it. I think, before I dive in on this, why this was my first sci-fi book, outside of something like Vonnegut or, like, recently reviewed this guy here, very good, but, like, this was deep in it. And for some reason, I think when I go to bookstores and I see sci-fi, it's juxtaposed with, like, fantasy, and the line gets kind of blurry there. And I really liked it because it didn't feel so fantastical. It really just, it felt like if science went a different way in our world. And so this is the first book of a series. Also, supposedly going to be a series on Netflix, finding very little info about details about that happening. But if you got any insider infos, drop that in the comments down low. But so Three-Body Problem, it's a physics problem that's sort of the basis for this book. And basically the book, and as always, no spoilers here, but this is a general what the book is. It takes place initially kind of Cultural Revolution in China, and then kind of moves up to more like modern era. This book came out in 2008, and it's connected to a world besides ours, and also a video game that's sort of like just kind of pops up out of nowhere and is real representative of things happening in the world. And so there's a lot of characters to the book. One thing I really liked about it, and I think not only just because of the practicality, but because of it reminds me of Girl with the Dragon Tattoo series, but has a list of characters. Books that have that generally are just going to be awesome. Think back to 7.5 Deaths of Evelyn Hardcastle, incredible novel. If you have not read that, mystery book. But so this it has multiple eras, but it doesn't feel scatterbrained. It's a really cohesive yet massive idea, and that's what I think stunned me so much on it. This was a book that was like a strong recommendation from my sister's boyfriend, Ryan, and so as I dish out book review or book suggestions all over the place, they're like, get one from someone I care about, like, bring it on in. So this, I knew this was a little out of my zone. Probably in my top 10 novels I read all year. Also, just cover art, as always. Love a good cover art. And so I was really drawn into it and didn't know where it was going to go. Not because it was so, like, weird or anything, but just because of it was in the truest sense. It was science fiction. It was fictionalized science. Like, it sounds so redundant to say that way, but, like, yeah, it was very fascinating, and it makes you think about what sort of science in regards to, like, interplanetary, solar system science is out there that we don't know, or that there's, like, it would blow your mind if you knew. So I really enjoyed this book. I'm trying to tiptoe and not say anything. But yeah, the characters were fascinating. I did refer back to that list a lot because, as you see here, this is a translated version. So this translated novel version came out in 2008. I think 2006 it had been, like, printed somewhere in Chinese, and then this, as the translator note says in the end, you know, he didn't want to make it the English version of a Chinese novel. It's none of the names are changed. So me being an English speaker, some of them don't don't stick as hard, or they're similar sounding and blurry and stuff. So, or things were like, I'm not used to saying it out loud phonetically, so it doesn't stick as well. So I referred back to that list a lot, but it wasn't too much. That's what, like, as grandiose as the plot is and the cast of characters, like, it wasn't too much, and that takes such skill. That's so impressive to me. So this author, Cixin Liu, he got into science fiction from, his first one was Journey to the Center of the Earth. And I always think back to, like, books like that, or Around the World in 80 Days, and then, like, is it 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea? A lot of leagues under the sea. I forget the number. But just adventure books. And, like, the sci-fi element woven in there, I love that. That's so fun. Like, so I definitely want to read the next two in the series. Got Dark Forest and Death's End as the third one. So, and it's not just because, like, oh, I need to conclude this, it feels incomplete without it. This standalone, incredible book. Like, just, it doesn't feel like part one of a 3-part thing. It's a big story, but I want more of his writing, and then I guess always credit to the translator as well of carrying it through. Like, it was just awe-inspiring, and there was one where, like, I was definitely like, I might have dipped out of work 1 or 2 days a little early, kind of get to a coffee shop and read a little more than I planned, and, like, yeah, it was really, really enticing. So something I talked about with Ryan, the friend who suggested this, it's hard to imagine a visual version of it like the Netflix thing, and my thought on it was that it kind of goes one of two ways. It's either going to be like one of the hundreds of shows they put out there, and it's just kind of basic, or they're like, we're going for it. Like, this is a big one. And so I really think, like, my hope in that there not being a lot of info out there now is that it's just like they got to line a lot of parts and pieces up because it's going to be epic. Because that's what this deserves. It won a bunch of awards when it came out internationally. The Hugo Award is the big one that gets touted, and then there's a bunch of great credits on the back. You got Barack Obama saying it was wildly imaginative. Found his further quote on it. Not that I'm the just enormous Obama fan, but, like, he said it made the chaos going on within Congress seem so petty. And I think that's something that I find fascinating about exploring beyond our planet, that it puts things into perspective and would hopefully unify us a little bit, but I don't know if we're past that point. But yeah, incredible book. I would love to hear if anyone out there, if you've read this and read the next two. I've heard one thing about the second one, that the concept in it is stellar, but what am I getting into on are they as good? Did you like them more? Did you feel like without those two this would have been incomplete? What did you feel on the series, given that I'm one book in? Hope you guys had a wonderful year of reads in 2021. I will be having a recap video, sort of my, like, favorite books. Gonna break it into fiction and nonfiction because I have trouble ranking those two side by side. I don't know if anyone else has that issue, but yeah, 2 more videos on books from 2021 coming, and then a little recap video. Also, someone asked for a tour of, like, books around here. That will happen as well. I know I was supposed to do this in the beginning, but subscribe if you haven't. I love doing these book reviews, and throw a little like, little comment, even just a little smiley face comment. Like, that stuff, I feel it. I appreciate it. So, have a good day.